everybody, it's Monday, June 11th, it's Shavanna here. I got kind of posed a question that I thought was really interesting, and it was, if I could speak to the world, what would I say? I was going to type it up, but then I was like, do your video, great idea. So that's what we're doing, and this is also going to tie into something that I want to do as well. I've been kind of searching for the platform of my YouTube channel, and I think I want to make it a little bit of everything, but at the same time there's things about myself that I'm just trying to be your true self that I want to include in this channel, and part of that is history. And since spiritualism is a huge part of my life, what got me started going with everything and trying to find my path in spiritualism, which is I'm a witch. I did a spiritual course, and I really resonated with Andrew Jackson Davis. He is, if you don't know, the father of our modern philosophies on the law of attraction. He's definitely called John the Baptist of spiritualism. He was the first one to speak up about free thinking, especially in our children. And he's absolutely wonderful. And I'm going to share something that's pretty powerful with you guys after we do this video. But anyway, the question that was posed to me was, what would you say to the world? If you could speak to the world, what would you say? And you know what? I would say this. Love is the one true thing that we are given. There's so much pain that's happened in the name of love. I think everyone, just in my opinion, really truly is leaning on and holding on to this almost incorrect, and I even hate to say that word, aspect of what love really is. You know, I'm not interested in looking into the dictionary version of what they're going to tell me what love is. Because for me, here it is, this is what I think. And this is what I've been divinely guided to share. Love is not anything at all what we think it is. It's not what we have experienced, and only experienced it on that level because we accepted that first version of it, which is that love is coupling up with another person, and love is monogamy, and love is perfection, and love is starting a life with somebody and giving up your dreams and giving up everything else like that. And but mostly, especially for men, I mean, maybe I can't say that, and women too, that love hurts. You know, love is, something you can't trust, something that is almost unobtainable or unbelievable, and it's just not true. Love is our everyday gift, and I think we go about it really, really wrong. You know, all those people, that have hurt us before and are now the reasons that we allow love not to truly enter into our lives, because we've built up this barrier based on people who, because of us, the people who are doing the work, the spiritualist light workers, the readers, whatever it is that you want to call yourself, the manifestors, anybody that's out there trying to change the world from what it is today. Anybody that comes into our life is because we are divinely guided daily, and slow things, sometimes they hit us like a rock. Other times, we ignore it. They don't let us do that for long. But they're brought into our life either to go on the journey with us, or for us to help guide them to the place to where we are, which is centered as multidimensional beings. And oftentimes, the people we have chosen because of our insecurities or our evident lack of self-esteem, or just basically we've been duped, which has definitely happened to me more than once. Or, people who just will go into what they think love is and then jump out of it like it's a bathtub. I don't even know any way else, to put it. It's like in and out. You know what I mean? Oh, my bad. Well, I'm done. So I'm done with my bath. So, yeah, peace. This is not love. That's not love. That's just using you until they're done. Using you until what they get out of you has just reached its end, either on their level or when you finally tell them, I'm done. I'm better than this, and we're not doing this. But you know what? Love isn't that. And these people probably, and since they have hurt those who are divinely guided, who are set aside to lift the people of the planet, change the vibration of the world, that was their chance. And then it's going to be an even harder task for them moving forward if they decide that they want to finally take a bite of what we get to eat of abundantly every day. But because they chose to use that gift, in my heart, I just believe that they're destined to remain as earthly beings and continue their realm and reign of manipulation, hurt, and destruction of good souls' belief in love. That seems to be their control. It's like they take a good person under this now current belief of love and keep them from ever inviting that back into their life, or looking right at somebody who they know is on paper or otherwise really good for them, or this could go really well, but they're not willing to take the risk because they don't want to go through that pain again. It could be financial, it could just be emotional. When people give away their heart, they usually do it very sincerely. And then these individuals who did not take the gift graciously and stepped on it are only going to continue to love in that manner. They're never going to experience the cosmic love, the divine love that is truly out there. Anybody that's been hurt, I want you to just open your mind a little bit and think about what I'm saying. Because I've been hurt plenty in more ways than you could ever dream of. Just got just wrong on all levels. I mean, I'm not any better or different than anybody as far as levels of pain, but as a child, lots of stuff. And we'll get into that as the channel goes on too. But what I'm saying here is I'm not taking my experience of love or pain and saying, hey, listen to me, you're wrong, right? Here it is. Love is not anything that we've been taught. Love is not anything you've been experiencing. And even as some of us that have been called to do these type of things, still live in that realm of believability on that whole illusion of what love is, and do hold ourselves guarded and won't let love in, even though we are the speakers of love, the teachers of love in the universe and the abundance that the divines want to give you, to reach for guidance and everything, do all this daily work every single day, to just get the love that they want us to have, that we deserve. And you know what? It's not the love that we know. It's not the monogamy. It's not the cohabitating. It's not the ring or, making life plans together. It's genuinely looking at another human being, or transcending even that, seeing who they are on the inside, who they are spiritually and in their soul, appreciation, gratitude for their role in either their community, in the world, in the spiritual realm. Just having an appreciation of somebody that even transcends attraction. Now, attraction, I mean, I have a lot of appreciation for a few people on the level of attraction. And, but you know what? I'm not allowed to tell them I love them. That's so crazy. Because I do. To me, love is not what they're describing, what they're in fear of. And love and fear are not supposed to go hand in hand. So automatically you know it's wrong. You know, the way you feel about it has to be incorrect because you are in fear of it. Love is not anything you fear. It is what you embrace, accept fully in gratitude. You let it uplift you. You let it be your sunshine every single day. You know, because when I think as a world, as a sect of, you know, people, everybody could just embrace what I believe it truly is, our world would be so different, so completely different. Our relationships would be so different. There would no longer be that heaviness, that ball and chain, that ultimate responsibility of self-sacrifice, of your dreams, of your goals, of your individual self, of your household, of, you know, your friendships. Because we have this delusional idea of love, and we've, you know, believed in this delusion or illusion, we have wrecked our lives spiritually, financially, emotionally, because we're believing in something that isn't true, that doesn't exist as love. I wish we could find a word that we can describe all of that under something else. Oh, wait a minute, maybe it is. It's called marriage. You know, that's when you ultimately have found the person that you appreciate the most, that you're recognizing as what the divines have brought together for you, and you're going to build a life, and you're going to do something, and you're going to have wonderful children that are going to grow and have other wonderful children. And love, a lot of times, doesn't have a lot to do with marriage. It has a lot to do with, can you function together in this world and that world and be successful together. Not only successful as far as money or your status, your neighborhood you live in, your kid's the best athlete, #1 student, anything. I'm talking about surviving and making it as a unit, as a team. That's marriage. But what is love? What is truly love in the universe? What love means to me is that just that appreciation of what the divine God and Goddess have provided to somebody in your life, part of your tribe, part of your soul group, somebody, I mean, everybody we meet has a purpose in what we're doing, even on a daily basis. Maybe you'll never see this person again. You know what? But if you were reacting to even a stranger in the position of love, you would be more compassionate, more charitable, more empathetic. And then it bleeds. They want to pay it forward. My neighbor, she showed a really great, for me, example of love. She was gifted this beautiful furniture, and just because somebody out of the blue thought about her. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to pay it forward. So she posted all this free stuff, and she went and delivered it, and is going to give the rest away to charity just to pay it forward because somebody thought of her. Now that's love. She didn't have to do that. She could have posted it on her Facebook Marketplace and try to make a dime, and go out and have herself a steak dinner, but she decided she wanted to pay it forward. That's love. When you have a mutual, with male and females, or female, male, love is love, Nobody will ever tell me that love is based on gender. It's not. Love is an energy. Love is something that is transferred between two people who have that attraction in a way that they may potentially, in their way or the other, partner up. But there's so many people, because of their experiences, it's so sad. And it breaks my heart too. There's so many that will look at somebody that when they're attracted to, it's all there. And because this other person has them held hostage, because their heart was broken, their hopes and dreams, their self-esteem, the abuse, a lot of times, because they don't want to open themselves up even to the best person, because they just don't believe they're going to be treated appropriately, that it's going to be good or right. That it's just not something they can risk. It takes way too long, and I get it, to recover financially, to recover spiritually, emotionally. The emotional part sometimes never happens, because they just will not trust again, or use every excuse in the world, or line themselves up with, okay, well, next time this person's going to be this. And I've done it. I've done that bullet point thing. Oh, you want to bring the right person into your life, write it down on a piece of paper, every single thing, and make sure he hits every bullet point. I've done that. Okay, it didn't work. Because you can do that. And this person, especially if there are souls, I don't even know if they're souls, but they understand manipulation. They understand that they want you, but they don't want to do the work. They don't want to love the way that you love, which is in a whole way, a pure way. So they manipulate, lie, break you down so that they get this relationship and what they need out of it without having to do the work. They cheat. They steal. Everything. What they're stealing is money, possessions, but what they've stole is your heart and destroyed your soul. Because to me, those two are tied together exclusively. That's like the brain to the soul is your heart. And these people will never, ever get to have that love. When it finally does, and I believe it will, explode in our world, they will never be allowed to experience it, because they won't be allowed to squander it again. They've already proven, by giving the gift of one of the divine's souls, the star children, that they were given an opportunity to love this person and look at them in a position of wanting to grow and change. And then we're not all perfect just because we do this or we do the work and we're on our spiritual path or did our awakening. Doesn't mean we're perfect people. By any means, we're not. We're learning and growing the same as everybody else. But we understand the ideas and the law, and the laws of what's happening in the universe. Our connection to one another, our responsibility to one another as a whole. We are all connected. And we all have a responsibility to one another. To be decent, to provide decent neighborhoods and schools and be of service. And it's, we're not exempt of one another. You don't get to come in and do this to somebody like that. You'll just be left as you are. In my opinion, you will be left as you are. I'm not saying now nobody has any hope or change. And I'm sure if that's the case, you're going to get your awakening too. But you're going to have to follow that path and do the work. And I think at this point where we are in the world, because things are in my heart too, I believe this too, getting ready to just happen. It is ready to go down. There's no more time. No more time to take a risk. So I believe these people just are going to be left here. They're going to be left here to, be your human self. You go on, but you won't be allowed to love one of my children again. You won't be able to join because you squandered the gift. You squandered it. Squashed it. Ripped it to shreds. Because, who they're going to be working on is us. They're the people that are being called. The people that are currently going through their awakening. And then there's those others that, who are working through that process and just have a different idea, and just it can kind of transcend above that pain and, to not open their hearts again. I mean, I'm ready to love again, on that level. I already do, but I'm just not allowed to express it because of how that makes certain people feel like I'm pushing them in a relationship or rushing the situation. And I know, ladies, you could probably understand what I'm saying, that this resonates with you. But I'm saying, man, stop. Why don't you explain to these girls who maybe have that opinion, and that maybe you're not wrong? Why don't you explain to them what love is? And how you love? And how maybe someday we may get to that point to where we can, say to each other that we're ready and able to partner up in that way. And the label of everything too, I found myself saying, being offended by something because, you don't want me to be your girlfriend because, you had somebody that ripped you apart, even though you've known me forever. And I would never do that. I mean, even in the whole time that we've done all this as friends and everything else, I've never hurt you. I've never expressed or shown that that was something I was capable of. And look at me like I was just the girl that walked through the door that you just met, that you were attracted to and don't know anything about, and say to me, I don't want a relationship. It's too much responsibility. I'll never do it again. I was completely wrecked. I will never give my heart. I mean, every single time, even not the people or the guys that I know or have been dating, I mean, my strangers that come into my world say the same thing. It's like everybody whips out this disclaimer. Okay, I'm going to need you. I really like you. I think you're very, very attractive. We're going to definitely, if I have my way, and I have a feeling if you have your way, we're going to do the boom boom room and do our thing. But here, I'm going to need you to sign this right here. It's this disclaimer of, I like you. I'm attracted to you. But I'm never going to have a relationship. I don't want a relationship. I'm telling you right now, it's never going to happen. And I'm like, well, I mean, you're just cutting everything off right at that second. How is a person supposed to know how to proceed from there when you are basically just shutting down emotion in a relationship, which I don't think is realistic when two people come together on any level, whether it's a work relationship or mother and child or the neighbor, men and women, man on men, women, polyamorous, anything. You can't, I mean, I know you think you're taking your emotion out of that. You're just saying words. Because I guarantee you are going through the emotions. Even though you've said it to yourself, you're still sitting at home when instantaneously you start thinking about somebody you're attracted to. That little rush of flutter, maybe I want to call her. Even if you're just saying, I think I'm feeling her tonight and we're gonna, that's still an emotion. You're still in a relationship with her, him or otherwise. You're in a relationship. you've just erased the title on it and think you're now exempt because you've done that. And the truth is that's not the truth. We're all responsible for one, and we're all having a living, breathing relationship in every single thing we do. When the lady at the grocery store bags the groceries and takes my money, it's a transfer of energy. We're having a relationship right at that moment. She may even evoke emotion in me. I know I'm grateful. I have gratitude for her and what she does in her position. For sure, everybody. I mean, and I genuinely love when I get close with people and include them in what I call my tribe. And I call my tribe the Land of Misfit Toys. And if you know where I live, you would understand that. But I love them all. I love them equally. It's almost like I don't have, like, for a male that I am completely digging, I mean completely, I've had for years, versus this lady that I love dearly, and she's like my sister, and great, my phone is ringing. You know, when I weigh it out, I don't have a difference. It doesn't mean I want to go bang my sister, you know, who my spiritual sister, the way that I want to hug and love on my special male guy that I just have always thought was fantastic. Just a great person. That walks around not accepting love. And I see how it, because he's going through his awakening, and we were kind of guided to one another through a friend that we had mutually that I wasn't even aware they were best friends. I ran across, just something kind of made me go through made me go through my pictures that day, and I saw my friend Dave, and brought back a lot of memories. He unfortunately passed way too soon. Such a good soul, good person, so similar to myself, and come to find out, he was this person's best friend, but it made me turn around and look, and I noticed that this person was on chat, and I hadn't seen him forever, I hadn't talked to him forever. We've always had an attraction, and we've always made that kind of clear to each other, but I was always not available, or he was running scared. Even if I was, he wasn't that one that tried to just take what he wanted, which is kind of sexy too, but at the same time, he was proper about it, and that's kind of cool, but he never, so I should, get on that chat and say, hey, what's up? How come we've never hung out? He's like, well, you can come over now. I'm like, right on, cool. And it kind of sparked something. And the funny thing is I've noticed him going through his awakening. So I'd like to believe that Dave had, brought us together for more reasons than one. And also just to kind of guide him spiritually. Because when you are called and you have dabbled in spiritualism and or trying to figure out what it is you believe in, it can almost drive you to madness because you're trying to figure it out. And the divines or your guardians, and Dave, I'd like to think that that's what you were doing for both of us, being guardian to both of us, will always bring you your life raft, the thing you can hold on to, your lighthouse, what's going to give you direction, what's going to lead you in that area of where you can take it by the reins and run with it yourself, and then that person can be there for you as someone you can turn to when you have questions, or somebody that just kind of reaches when you start drifting off a little bit, can go out there and just grab you and bring you back to where you were and remind you, in the way that we do, which is usually by symbolism or, a sequence of events, synchronicity, and it's what they do too. I've been noticing that in a few of my friends in my little tribe. And I'm so very grateful that I get to be that person to them. Very special people that are going to be great examples of the world we should be living in and the way that we should be loving. Now I have a few friends that just are on my wavelength. They, not even mine, it's just the universe. And we love each other, like just love. Love you. There's hugs and kisses. It's not dirty. It's not against anybody. It's not foul or wrong. You know, love is not being upset when somebody in your little tribe circle is talking smack. You know, it's going to happen. Forgive them. Everybody has a process of growth, and everybody does deserve to be loved and cared for. But when you are obviously stepped yourself into that realm and around all these people and you are jumping into it, you will always be guided to continue on. Life will never be the same. Things will start, you know, just falling apart if you don't continue on that path. Because once you step into that dimension and try to retreat, what happens when you fall? It's gravity. What happens when you fall? You know, it all just falls apart. You're no longer lifted. You're no longer up. You're no longer lifted. You fall like 800 pounds trying to hit the ground. And then you lose yourself, and then all of a sudden there's this day where you think it's all done and gone. You can't even begin to think about the spiritualism thing, and she reaches out for you and reminds you that I haven't forgotten about you. You wanted to do this, I let you fall. And it's always free will. It's always free will to accept the guidance, the messages, to recognize them, to, you know what I mean, even recognize the people that are standing in front of you that are given to you as a gift, your life raft, your lighthouse to kind of to bring you back to her. It's really always up to you. But when she's in your heart, and when, you know, the Divine Father's in your heart, it's really hard to ignore, because you see their light in their eyes and you remember what that feels like, and you just want to be there again. You know, that's love. That's love. I know every time I see my tribe, I feel that. There is the light. There they are. There they are. It's great. And we need to stop making it these levels of things that we can't keep up with or compete with. Or there has to be that equal transference of energy when it comes to love. And we're choosing these people who don't even understand, who won't even begin to understand, who don't care. They're only there for their own self, their individual self. They're there to take whatever they can get out of this situation, knowing that when they're done, or when you're done, and when they've just taken all the resources away, they're going to go about their life and go on to the next one and not even think twice about it. And they left the person who understands compassion, empathy, charity, graciousness. Somebody that wants, you know, gave you their entire self, and you squandered it. It does leave a hole. I mean, because who could do that? But they do. And unfortunately now we're left with all these wonderful spiritual people who do have a place in the universe that's very specific, and are now having people like me have to come around to heal them so they can move on to their path, and or hopefully, you know, find ourselves as mutual people who can transfer energy equally between each other, the give and take, and show the world, you know. I mean, who knows? And even if it doesn't, that's okay. You know, as long as there wasn't any abuse or anything like that going on with this type of relationship, then it's okay if it doesn't happen. It's okay if the person just isn't interested, that they just don't feel like this is who they can do that with. But what I'm finding is that they're saying that only because they never want to go through that again. Everybody stop living in fear, especially when it comes to love. Separate yourself from the way it's been described to you currently. Think about it as just a level thing. It's something that you love with your friends, your dog, the piece of artwork standing over there, your neighbor, your grandparents, your children. It's having that compassion, empathy, passion. Then passion does come in a lot when you get that feeling from a person that you are attracted to. Stop with the labels. We're these people. We like each other. We're attracted to each other. We're going to spend some time together. Why is it that you have to be called my boyfriend? So maybe that's the way we cut that off. We cut this whole thing saying, okay, that's fine. I'll tell you what, let's get rid of the labels. Because really, it's why? Who cares? Two people who like each other. Two people that may eventually fall in love. And I'm not saying that happens naturally between people, and that's why you fall in love, is that all of a sudden you start seeing what you've been needing to see in somebody else, and you don't want to be away from it. Just like your best friend, or your cat, or your horse, or you fall in love and you don't want to be away from that. So that's awesome. But let's get rid of the labels. And I almost think we need to get rid of the labels in marriage because of what we have done to the sanctity of that union under the label of marriage. I think we need to call it something else. We've ruined it. We've destroyed it. All of it has been a part of a growing lesson, and none of it's bad. Now, do we have to stay there? No. They usually guide us to somebody else who's going to do it properly. We all deserve the kind of love they want us to have every single day, which is this beautiful light of love and appreciation of each other. Now, you're not all going to like each other. There's going to be people you just can't stand. I mean, I just don't vibe with this person. That's cool. He's got a tribe someplace else. He doesn't need you to vibe with him. He does not need you to vibe with him. And it's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying, everybody, open your heart. Get rid of the label. Enjoy one another. Don't let that pain keep you away from what our Divine Mother and Father have been trying to give to you. If you see you have interest in somebody, take that risk. Take the risk. Take down the barriers that are right here in your heart. Take that person that you think destroyed all that, because they really didn't, because she's been holding on to your heart. And she's actually giving it to you back when somebody does come into your life that is presented to you. And the pain she must feel when you stay in this realm of hate and bad energy, low energy, and won't grab onto that life raft. You know what I mean? Grab onto that one that's going to lift you. You lift each other. You do this as friends. You do this as man and husband, or whatever. We should find a new label for it all if we have to have labels. I don't understand it myself. I mean, maybe we can just call it hanging out with somebody. I don't know. We need to do that. I do believe that is maybe our first step in helping everybody else say, you know what, that's fine. We don't need labels. All I know is I really like you, and we're kicking it right now. Let's see what happens. If you decide that, or I decide, or I go someplace else, okay. And I almost don't, we have to just let each other have the joy that we were meant to have every single day, in whatever form that is. We're not here to change anybody. We're just here to be an example of the way we were always intended to live, the way we were always intended to just love and be happy in everything we do, to not be oppressed, to not be under this sanction of government and money like we are right now. Everything that strips us of being our spiritual selves. Everything that doesn't allow us to have our feet on the ground and our head in the clouds. You know what I mean? It's just, it's all not right. And the movement's happening, and it's happening now. And that's why these people who have done this, they'll just never get their chance, because now we have to work on, the divine's children that have been chosen, that are born into this placement of being those people intentionally who are going to lead, who are going to guide and counsel, who are going to be the example of how you should love and who you're going to love and how they live their life. You look at them and you're like, they're so happy and balanced. And that's what I had a friend tell me. He's like, no matter what it is that you do, you're there. You're just there. You are balanced. Even when you're in pain, I can walk in and see that you're working to be like this. And you always are, as an example and as representation. And I really appreciated that. I was like, yay, cool. People are starting to see the work that I've done. And that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So, guys, don't let these people that are never going to be, because this is happening now, and now we have to work on the Divine Mother and Father's children that have been ripped apart, and bring them back to the light, remind them of the wholeness of the experience they should be living in every day as they do their work on the path they were destined to be on during this time. And that's really unfortunate, because it's happening now. So if you're out there and you're one of these people that have used and manipulated, and you haven't done right by people you intentionally hurt, I stole $50, or you have a choice. So when next time somebody like that, if they're even gracious enough, that's to bring another person into your life as an example, as a way of calling you, I hope you jump on board and just try to become your higher self, because you may not get another opportunity. And also it is because you've been chosen, obviously, to do something important for them, to be somebody important in this whole movement of what's happening, this whole ascension. So that's huge. That's how important you are. Don't wreck each other. Just stop wrecking each other. If you can't do it, stay away from that person, because things are just going to happen. Things are going to happen that aren't, it's not good. Bad things are going to happen to people from now on that are just consciously doing that. It's done. It's over with, people. It's done. All that bullshit's done. So stop acting like that. It's done. Nothing but that is going to happen if you continue to do that. To her people, to her divine children, to her living light. It'll happen. So you guys, open your heart. Maybe start thinking about shedding some labels so that we can rise above this bullshit thing, this mundane version of love, this earthly version of love, where it is the woman's going to come along and take everything from me as my individuality. I'll no longer get to live my dreams or finish my work, my path. She's going to interfere. I'm going to lose track. My whole life's going to be turned upside down. My financial, blah, blah. Just go on living yourself as an individual. Embrace affection and love. Spend time with somebody you want to spend time with. And if this person isn't on your level and cannot work within you guys have got to be, you have to have the same thing going on for it to be the next level of the relationship. I won't say love, because to me love is like this. It's taken the relationship to the next level of partnership. Just like business. When you buy into a business and you're being partners, now you guys are obligated to one another to function in a way that makes it successful. And learn from your failures and grow. Now, if we can do it in business, why can't we do it as human beings who are having personal relationships? So do that. And stop guarding this that's not supposed to be guarded. Accept the gift. And if you can't accept it without hurting somebody because you're too afraid or too scared, then yeah, definitely stay away from them until you can get a point of where you can just enjoy it. But I think that comes from the other person too. If they're just kind of still in that mundane state and say, yeah, well, I need to be called your girlfriend and I need to be associated with you and blah, then okay, probably not on the same page or going in the right direction. But enjoy somebody who is coming along and saying, hey, I just like you. I'm glad I'm here right now. I'm glad you're here for me. Like, as I'm here for you, helping you spiritually and or guiding you with information, where to look, where to go, conversations. You're here for me because I need somebody to smile at. Somebody that just, you look at and just, this sunshine enters your heart. And I have, like I said, I have a few of my girlfriends that make me do that, and this person does too. And as a male, you just want to, you want to have that male-female or, that animalistic, attraction and interaction. You want to kiss and hug and love and all the things that I'm missing in my life as I'm doing my path work. And he's providing that to me too. It's a transfer of energy. It's beautiful. Do it that way. Try that. Let's try that, everybody. Let's try that. What are we going to lose? What can you lose? We can't lose, in my mind. And then we can learn how we're going to go about, if we need labels, and I hope we get rid of all of that, where we can go from there. But let's try it. Let's try it. Guys, open your heart. Guys, specifically, stop with the disclaimer when you meet a killer kick-ass girl because you're in fear. You're in fear because you really like her. You're in fear. You're not just telling her that you're not going to get in a relationship because it's never going to happen to me again and I'm not putting myself at risk and la la la. You are living in fear because you know this person can be that person to you in your heart. You're already feeling it. You already think that you know in the version of what they told you that you already want to just give away everything because you have that level of attraction with them. But the thing is in a whole, you should just find somebody who doesn't ask you to do that, would never ask you, and life should be comfortable, fit like a puzzle piece. And then when you grow apart, then the puzzle comes apart, and then you go on to a new puzzle. I mean, it's not bad. We learn to grow, and it's painful when you have to separate somebody from your tribe, either he's as a friend or a lover or whatever, but and it happens, part of life. Everything keeps evolving and moving. When it stops moving, that's when life stops. Enjoy the gift. Enjoy the love. Take it, guys. Open that up again, because you're going to be amazed at how great you feel. And the second this person just isn't on your page, discuss it. Say again how you feel, not the disclaimer, but then, hey, to me, our interaction needs to be like this. Because it does take a while to know whether or not you can interact with somebody in a level that can take the relationship to this place to where you're starting to invest your life in it. But it has to be with somebody that isn't so much of a risk. They may start that way, and as the growth process happens, you guys come together. So if something's difficult and this has obviously been brought to you, don't run away from it. Nothing has to be perfect. Give it a chance to work itself out and grow. Open up your heart. See where it goes. It's not prison. You can leave anytime you want, But you also could be missing out on something really great, even if it's just a friendship. It could be somebody who is your best friend. And that's what one of my relationship, I'm sure he's going to choke when he hears that, relationship friends, one of my best guy friends, he is my best friend. And that's how we're more than likely going to end, is as best friends, watching each other fall in love with the appropriate people. Because we are not compatible. Even though we have a lot of the same likes and everything, but we are not compatible on that level. I mean, we just know that we're not. I mean, star charts say that we're not. Our sun signs say that we're not. Our experience being together off and on this past year has shown us that we're not. Even physically, we like different people, but we were so attracted intellectually and spiritually and artistically. It's nice to have somebody that you can finally talk to and hey, by the way, you're attractive too, but that thing just isn't quite there. And that's okay, because he's my best friend. So he stays in my tribe. Yay! I did all that and I get to keep him. Isn't that great? And why? Because I opened up my heart. And through the process, I did it in a way that he trusted, that he's now opened up his heart to, even though he still goes a little green about the relationship thing. I mean, he's like, I would love it, but I'm going to have to throw away my art, my everything that I have plans to do, my art studio, my gallery, everything. I'm going to have to toss it out, because then I have the responsibility of taking care of you, because that's what I want to do, is I want to take care of you. And I'm like, you don't have to take care of me. We take care of each other when I make my own money, and I'll let you know when I need assistance. I mean, it's usually pretty obvious when I need my life raft, It was just like, I just wish we could all change the way we think about it, as being this like weight, like the 10 of Wands card, just over obligation. Love becomes an over obligation. Love becomes being a slave to somebody's whims and needs and hopes and desires, and usually one has to sacrifice for the other. No, we're supposed to be working in unison, even on a daily basis, with the construction guy down the road, working on the pothole. We're all just supposed to be trying to do our best to live in unity with one another and with the animals, and live this really peaceful, abundant life. So let's try that. Let's get rid of the labels. Men, listen, open up your heart. Don't run from it. Just accept it. Change the words of the disclaimer a little bit. Explain to them what love means to you, or what getting to know somebody is, and agreeing about the attraction and how you want to go about the process, because that person has to be able to meet that and accept it. And maybe they'll learn too and grow. And that's what you're hoping, right? I mean, we don't get involved with people because we don't see potential. Or we do on a level where we, and if it's just that, then keep it just that, and that's through communication. And a lot of that. So, I mean, do that. Get rid of labels, open up your heart, everybody. Start thinking about love like this. And the relationship is something that is the building blocks around it. take the gift. Don't forget, I am going to be doing this awesome thing about AJ Davis, and I would totally love to think that I was related to him on some level, because, you know, outside of my spiritual magical name that was given to me by another witch, which was awesome, as an anagram of my birth name. I would like to hope to think we were related, even though I don't think that we are. But he is the father of our movement, basically. And everything that I know I believe in, which is the law of attraction, it is the key ingredient of magic. Because what you think, you manifest. And sometimes there's those days, especially if the planets are all lined up, those portals open, and it's manifestation time, you know, like Oprah does with everybody gets a car. You know, it's kind of like that. So you have to watch your thoughts. But he is the man who, in his thoughts and in his dream state, was taught by his two guides how to explain it to everybody, how the universe really, truly works. And he's just like one of us. He's not this huge scholar, you know, he was just a dude from New York who didn't have a very big education. You know, he ended up getting a medical degree, but he didn't have an education when this happened. And he didn't have any of that spiritual process where, you know, okay, do this, and then that's how you get to the next level of meditation and getting into the third, fourth, fifth, you know, D. And I have to say, kind of like for myself, he just immediately went there. And that's what happened to me. And I'm learning that there still is even a higher level. And it's blowing my mind. It's almost like you don't get there until they say, and they pull that string, and it doesn't matter how much meditation you've done, how much studying. I mean, you do all that, yes, but really, truly, it is about what's just going on in here, even if you can't express it. And that aggravates me too. We're gonna do a video on that too. But AJ Davis, he's gonna be coming up. You guys are gonna love it. It's something that needs to be said. History needs to be remembered. This movement that's been going on has been going on since 1848 with the Fox sisters. So we're going to learn a little bit about the history of everything we are basing our lives on, everything that the universe has called us to do. And it starts with somebody, and that's why we do what we do. That's why we do these things, because it starts with one person. And you could be that one person that changes everything. You guys have a great Monday. Stay tuned, okay? We're going to have a great time.